Yes, it is permissible to install a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI hospital-grade receptacle in a residential setting. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not prohibit the use of hospital-grade receptacles in homes. Hospital-grade receptacles are designed and manufactured to withstand more frequent use and abuse compared to standard residential-grade receptacles. They feature stronger internal components, a more robust construction, and a tighter grip on plugs. These features make them suitable for environments where receptacles are frequently used, such as in hospitals, clinics, and other healthcare facilities. However, there are no regulations preventing their use in residential applications. The main purpose of a GFCI is to protect people from electrical shock. GFCI receptacles are designed to detect ground faults, which occur when electricity flows through an unintended path to the ground. This can happen when a person comes into contact with a live wire or a faulty appliance. When a GFCI detects a ground fault, it quickly trips the circuit, cutting off the flow of electricity and preventing electrical shock. GFCI protection is required in many areas of a home, including bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor locations. This is because these areas are more likely to be exposed to moisture, which increases the risk of electrical shock. Installing a GFCI hospital-grade receptacle in these areas can provide an extra level of protection against electrical shock. While hospital-grade receptacles offer increased durability, the GFCI functionality is the primary safety feature. Both standard GFCI receptacles and GFCI hospital-grade receptacles will provide the same level of protection against electrical shock. In a residential setting, the added durability of a hospital-grade receptacle may not be necessary, but it can be beneficial in certain situations. For example, if a receptacle is frequently used or if it is located in a high-traffic area, a hospital-grade receptacle may be a good choice. It is important to ensure that any electrical work performed in a home complies with the NEC and local electrical codes. This includes using the correct wiring methods, properly grounding all electrical components, and installing GFCI protection where required. When installing a GFCI receptacle, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. This will ensure that the receptacle is installed correctly and that it will function properly. It is also important to test the GFCI receptacle after installation to ensure that it is working correctly. To test a GFCI receptacle, simply press the test button on the receptacle. This should trip the circuit and cut off the flow of electricity. If the receptacle does not trip, it is not working correctly and should be replaced. In summary, it is legally permissible to install a GFCI hospital-grade receptacle in a residential home. While the added durability of a hospital-grade receptacle may not be necessary in all situations, it can provide an extra level of protection and peace of mind. When performing any electrical work, it is important to comply with the NEC and local electrical codes. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and test the GFCI receptacle after installation to ensure that it is working correctly. In addition to the above points, it's important to consider the cost of hospital-grade receptacles compared to standard residential-grade receptacles. Hospital-grade receptacles typically cost more due to their more robust construction and higher quality components. For residential applications, it's a matter of personal preference and budget whether the added cost is justified. Consider the specific location where the receptacle will be installed and the level of use it will receive. If the receptacle is in a high-traffic area or will be used frequently, a hospital-grade receptacle may be a worthwhile investment. Otherwise, a standard residential-grade GFCI receptacle may be sufficient. Furthermore, it's essential to use appropriately rated wiring for the electrical circuit. The wire gauge must be sufficient to handle the anticipated electrical load. Consult the NEC or a qualified electrician to determine the correct wire gauge for the circuit. Using undersized wiring can create a fire hazard. When replacing an existing receptacle with a GFCI receptacle, ensure that the existing wiring is in good condition. Check for any signs of damage, such as frayed or cracked insulation. If the wiring is damaged, it should be replaced before installing the new receptacle. Also, be sure to properly ground the GFCI receptacle. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the electrical panel, which helps to protect against electrical shock. The grounding wire should be securely connected to the grounding terminal on the receptacle and to the grounding system in the electrical panel. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. A licensed electrician will have the knowledge and experience to safely and correctly install GFCI receptacles and other electrical components. They can also ensure that the electrical system in your home complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember to always turn off the power to the circuit breaker before working on any electrical components. This will help to prevent electrical shock. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or terminals. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical work, consult a qualified electrician. Electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and your family. By following these guidelines, you can safely and legally install GFCI receptacles in your home. Whether you choose to use standard residential grade receptacles or hospital grade receptacles is a matter of personal preference and budget. However, ensuring that all receptacles are properly installed and grounded, and that GFCI protection is provided where required, is essential for electrical safety. So, to reiterate, the National Electrical Code does not restrict the use of hospital-grade GFCI receptacles in residential settings. These are permitted. Their robust design may offer benefits in frequently used locations, but standard GFCI outlets provide adequate safety. Adherence to local electrical codes and proper installation are crucial for any electrical work. When dealing with electricity, always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals.